Do you suffer from fibromyalgia, or do you have a family member or loved one who may suffer from the condition? Now, the problem is, it's one of those that can be potentially very difficult to treat. However, there may be some particular natural treatment options or remedies that could be helpful. So in the next couple minutes, I'm going to share those with you and give you some more details that could be helpful and potentially change your life. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. If you got comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll respond directly to them as well. Also, in the bottom of the screen, you may see a bell notification. If you click the bell notification, I'll make sure that you're going to be notified for any videos that are uploaded in the future. So back to our topic, we're talking about fibromyalgia pain, and is there some other potential natural treatment or remedies that are out there that could be helpful? So I want to share this with you. Now, a lot of people who have it or get very frustrated with what's available because it seems it's kind of limited. It's one of those that can be very difficult to treat. And medications seems to always be kind of the go-to that people take. So people get frustrated and are looking to try to find something outside the medication. So you're seeing, at least I think it's fortunate, is that you're seeing a lot of caregivers and also people in the medical community who are kind of seeing that and trying to move away from it. A lot of scrutiny with pain identifications, opioids in specific. That's a big topic now, but individuals too are trying to find a way to move away from it because there's problems that can pop up, side effects are an issue. So it's very logical and I think very smart for people to be looking for that. Now, fortunately, what we're finding out is that through the advancement of science, we're able to kind of identify individually on how our individual biology or biochemistry really plays a role of a lot of different things for us. Now, as far as like pain, one thing I want to share with you as far as our individual body chemistry is that your food that you eat plays a much larger effect than most of us realize. Now, I know there's a big push for people to eat right and eat healthy. Yeah, but even some of the healthy foods that are kind of out there may not necessarily work for your specific body chemistry, because mine is different than my family, it's different than my wife, and even people who my blood relatives, because our body chemistry is very unique to us. And fortunately, some of the advances of science is that you can actually be able to do a test to find out what specific foods work well for you as an individual and which ones do not. And this is all around what is known as food insensitivity or food intolerances. So it's different than we're talking about allergies. We're talking about sensitivities to foods. So what can happen is that there are certain foods you may eat, and it may manifest itself as far as your food intolerance to have symptoms of pain and inflammation, skin rashes, different digestive type of issues. There's a long list that we can go through, but a healthy food like a banana or tomato, for instance, if you have a high intolerance to it, could cause some of those conditions. So you may have pain that you're associated with a fibromyalgia, and it could be something that you can probably resolve by making some diet modifications. And fortunately, there are some tests that can actually take a blood sample and take it to a lab and do a really comprehensive report to show you what types of foods can be causing those issues for you. And even that report can show you how you can make those diet modifications to remove a certain type of food or kind of reintroduce that food at a later time. So, and again, you may look at it specifically and say, okay, well, I eat a lot of tomatoes, and those tomatoes could be causing some issues, and there could be some pain or migraine or something that could be a cause of those tomatoes, or you might find out that you're intolerant to certain types of dairy, and you can make those changes. And a lot of times I've even seen people who've had these long-standing issues who have basically been corrected by seeing these reports, looking at it, making these modifications, and then they're able to completely come off some medications that they're taking, making some lifestyle changes. And fortunately, there is the technology available that gives that to you on the individual level. So That can help you. The con for that, of course, the big con is, I mean, you're going to have to decide on whether or not you want to implement that personally. Some people will say, okay, well, I love dairy. How can I make those changes? I'm not going to make any changes whatsoever. Or I can live without this, but I can only do this. You're going to be the person who makes that decision. But there's some tools out there that can be to help you. And if you're looking to kind of find a more natural, safer option away from medications, this is a tool, and at least now science has presented us an option that can be very helpful for you. So take in consideration, you can talk to your doctor about it. Not all health plans may include that as a cost, and it might be something you just have to pay for direct. So some may be more costly than others depending on how extensive of a report you want to have. But they're certainly out there, and you just basically you do a blood draw to send it, and you'll get a report back. If you want to try something that's going to be less invasive, I mean, there is a book that was written back in the mid-90s. I think it was called Eat Right for Your Life, and it was basically a blood type diet, basically saying, okay, your blood type can be based upon your blood type is what I should probably say. These types of foods or types of eating plans work well for this blood type versus this blood type. So you can try that, and there's a book that was written about that. Again, it was back in the mid-90s, I believe. So you won't have to pay for the test, and you won't have to do a blood draw unless you don't know your blood type, but it will kind of give you some helpful information. I know my wife, I learned this from her like several years ago. She was very familiar with the food sensitivity test, and I know she had shared with me as well, is that the blood typing is somewhat similar, and it'll give you somewhat similar guidance. It's not going to be nearly as comprehensive, but it can kind of help you, give you some sort of kind of helpful guidance, so you can probably utilize that as well. But again, I wanted to share this with you folks because now with the advancement of sciences, we do now have things available that can actually show you individually, specifically on what things do not work well for you as far as in foods, and what things may not, what things work and what things don't, so you can make those specific changes. And for those who are looking to get away from some of these medicated options, it could make a difference. It may be something worth trying, because I've seen others who have done it. What's the harm? The harm is probably like your initial time and investment to do that. And so again, I've seen it be helpful for some people, and it is a more natural option to kind of pursue. So it might be something to kind of take a look at, speak with your physician. If your physician is not familiar with it, and some may not, unfortunately, see if they're open to looking into it, or speak to a dietitian, a health coach, or you find another physician who might be open-minded to or be aware of it, and it's something that's growing. It's something that's been successful for many in the past. So I wanted to share that for you. Now, this is going to be part one of part two. In this channel, I do like health and wellness, but a lot of things I do is primarily around the use of CBD. In the second series, I'm going to share something with you in regards to CBD, on whether or not it could be a possible natural solution as well. And there's some pretty eye-opening research that's kind of starting to unlock some of these mysteries. So make sure you check out the series 2. And in this video, I will have a link to check that out. So click that link, watch that video, and I'll give you some information specifically with how CBD works and whether or not it could be a possible solution. And the things that are available, I will tell you right now, is rather eye-opening in a good way. So I hope you enjoyed watching. If you got any questions or comments, leave below, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.